I'm Ricardo Blancaflor. I am currently the Director General of the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines. And we are in the middle of a very, very important development in Philippine history and maybe business because now we are really exposing intellectual property not just to the inventors but also to the business, and hopefully the business will take over IP, discover it, embrace it, and eventually use this for Philippine growth or Philippine economy. One simple invention can produce many jobs. One simple invention can result in a big corporation that will earn money, earn taxes for government, provide jobs for hundreds, if not thousands, and of course serve humanity. If the invention is a drug or a pharmaceutical, it will solve many illnesses. If the invention is an apps or a mobile technology, then it will help people communicate with each other. These are just one of the few important elements of intellectual property. There's a lot more. When we wake up in the morning, we wake up to an alarm clock that is covered by an invention. We eat breakfast. No matter what the breakfast would be, whether it's milk, cereal, or food, it will still be covered by trademarks. And of course, if we go to work, we listen to music, it will be covered by copyrights. These are the examples of intellectual property. So basically, what are the three examples of intellectual property? The first set of examples would be inventions. This is covered what we call patent. And normally, when we say, lalo-lalo tayong Pinoy, when we say, i-patent mo yan, what we really mean is to give it intellectual property protection. But there is a technical term for patent. What is patent? What is trademark? And what is copyright? I think every Filipino has a cell phone. And in one cell phone, you can capture all three kinds of intellectual property. The OS inside the cell phone is covered by patent, a distinct classification of patent called invention. Invention must be new, must have industrial application, and must include invented steps. In a cell phone, the OS inside is an invention. Invention patent. The second kind of patent is what we call utility model, or UM. A utility model would be perhaps an improvement on your existing, like your keypad. This is an existing of improvement of what was originally there. This is a utility model. The third kind of patent is what we call industrial design. What is industrial design? Industrial design is the curve that you see, the thickness of the cell phone, and the layout of the screen. You will ask, what's so important about industrial design? You cannot imagine the big fight between Apple and Samsung, 7 issues in the States, only 3 covered inventions and patents. The 4 covered industrial design. The curves, the thickness, the dorsal portion, the layout design. So industrial design is very important. For you who are interested in fashion, clothes are covered by industrial design. Bags, cars. So the third classification of patents is industrial design. Now, what is trademark? In the Philippines, trademark only covers visible signs. In this particular cell phone, and I'm not advertising, a trademark here is what you see. This one. I'm not advertising Samsung. This is what you see. Now, it could also be a logo in this case. It's a Mont Blanc logo. In the Philippines, only visible signs can be trademarked. In other countries, they can have trademarks on smell or audio. Here, we only have visible signs. The third kind of intellectual property is what we call copyright. The apps that you see here are covered by copyright. Normally, copyright would be associated with music, would be associated with books, films, movies, sculpture, or even broadcasting. Now, what is copyright? Copyright is unique among the three, because on the first two, you need to register them. In copyright, we encourage you to deposit with us, but in copyright, the moment you create something, it's already yours. You don't have to deposit it. You don't have to register it. Now, what is Internet IP? Internet IP really is the copyright that is found in the Internet. Nowadays, you can get music from the Internet. You can get film in the Internet. So, all of this is protected by copyright. Whoever created it, whether it's an artist in India, or a singer in England, or a film actor, a film producer in Hollywood, they own the copyright. Nobody can download it without their permission. Otherwise, it would be what we call internet piracy. How important is all of this? In the Philippines, we have a very famous brand called Mang Inasal. Mang Inasal, for those who are used to situated abroad, is a very popular chain of restaurants. In 2007, the Mang Inasal brand was registered here in this office, and it cost the owner maybe about 14,000 pesos. In 2010, that brand was sold for 10 billion pesos. From 14,000 pesos in 3 years, it was worth 3 billion. Today, all over the world, the number one brand for some survey is Apple, for some it is Google, and they're almost $100 billion worth. Just the brand, mind you. The name, the logo, or the name, they're worth billions of dollars. They don't include the assets of the company. So that is how important intellectual property is. Now, in the case of the Philippines, we have what we call territorial protection. If you are not registered in the Philippines, you cannot be given protection for patent and for trademark. But for copyright, you don't need registration. So you are covered. For example, if you were a music composer in Nepal or an artist in faraway Bhutan, the moment you made your creations, they are already protected. Nobody can copy them and make a Christmas card of your creation here in the Philippines. Even if you are not registered here, you are already protected. And that is the beauty of intellectual property. It serves humanity. Look around you. Look around your home, your room. IP is all over you. The light bulb you're using, the camera being used to record me, these are all covered by IP, invention. And what I'm talking about is covered by copyright. The world is where we are today because of intellectual creation. That creation has to be protected. Otherwise, nobody would want to create. Imagine a world without IP protection. When every geek says, okay, anybody can copy me, nobody would want to create. No artist, no singer would want to create because it can be copied. He cannot take advantage of it. No. How are they protected in the Philippines? In the Philippines, for patent, in the case of invention, it's good for 20 years from the time you file it. For utility model, which we saw earlier, it's good for 7 years. You cannot renew. And for industrial design, it's good for 15 years, 5 years with 2 renewals. Now, in the case of trademark, the Philippines is one of the oldest countries with an existing trademark system. If you remember, and I'm almost sure nobody is old enough to remember the Spanish times, we had a trademark system already during the Spanish times. 1850s, we had a trademark system. In the Philippines, trademark protection is good for 10 years. You can renew every 10 years. So as long as you renew, syempre, as long as you pay us your renewal fee, you can have that protection for trademarks. Now, what is the difference between international filing and international and domestic? For international, this is what we have, what we call a patent cooperation treaty, in which case you file, for example, you are German and you file your invention in Germany and you say, I want to be protected in 10 countries. Then there is a system which originates in Geneva that designates the 10 countries where you want to be protected, and the examination continues. That is also true for trademarks. In the Philippines, the President signed an accession to trademark in 2012. In the Philippines, you can file a trademark here and designate your trademark in about 91 countries as of today. What does that mean? If you're an owner of a brand, let's say your brand is called Mang Inasal, you don't have to go to China, you don't have to go to Vietnam, you don't have to go to America or Japan. You can file Mang Inasal here and tell our office, I want to be protected in these countries, and we will immediately send your application to Geneva. Similar to the patent system, the registration takes place. It's not automatically granted, but if there are no oppositions, then it might be granted, just for the interest of the would-be millionaires there. In the Philippines today, we have over 66 brands that have already applied abroad, and 20 of them have been approved. They have not left the country, they just filed here using the Madrid protocol system. So you can be protected in trademark in 91 countries without having to leave the Philippines. In some other countries that are not yet members of the Madrid protocol, you would need to send lawyers in those countries to file. For PCT, which is the patent system, you can be designated in over almost 200 countries, and your protection also begins. What have we been doing? What has your office, the IPOFIL, been doing? Well, you can just read the papers. 3 weeks ago, we were removed from the 301 watch list. A 301 watch list is a system being used by the U.S. government to gauge if a country has good IP protection. In ASEAN today, there are only 4 countries that are not in the 301 watch list. That's Singapore, Malaysia, and Brunei. The Philippines is the 4th. In IP world, in the Asia-Pacific region, our patent protection is only next to Japan. What does that mean? It means that when it comes to patent protection, the Philippine IP office can give a very good protection for you. In truth, we have what we call PPH with Japan, Korea, and US. What does it mean? The examination being done on a patent application here in the Philippines is accepted in these 3 countries. That's the quality of examination that we have here. The examination being done by our examiners is automatically accepted in Korea, Japan, and the United States. Another milestone that I'd like to share with you is, of course, we are recognized when it comes to enforcement as the country champion in ASEAN. That means in IP enforcement, many countries come here to learn what we're doing. And that is not the only area where the Philippines is a country champion of. Our office is also the country champion for office automation. What does automation mean? Meaning that you can have the best, I'm told it's also one of the fastest registration system in trademark that we have right now. In the Philippines today, your trademark application can have a first action in 2 months and maybe an approval to 4 to 8 months. The office automation is a model for the rest of ASEAN, and this is the most advanced in the world that we have today. In copyright, we have 10 offices outside Metro Manila. In other words, if you were an artist in Bohol or a painter from Dinagat Island, you don't have to come to Manila to deposit your painting or your song. You can come to our nearest office, which is, in that case, you can go to Cebu or you can go to Cagayan de Oro and make your deposit there. But for trademark, you can file online. You can file your trademark application online. Please visit our website, ipofil, with an i.gov.ph. You proceed to a trademark registration, or even better, go to trademark search, so you can make sure that the brand you want to register is free. Or you can also go to patent search, which will give you the patents that we have here. If you're more interested and you want to visit our office, we're not very far from EDSA. Turn left on McKinley Road. From C5, turn right on Upper McKinley Road. Our building is called Intellectual Property Center. So good luck to you guys and girls. I'm excited for you. This is a great course. I congratulate the organizers. I congratulate your teachers. I congratulate the UP Open University system. I congratulate smart people. They're very smart all the time, wherever they are. And I congratulate especially you. You're gonna change the world, whether you like it or not. Salamat po.